Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today we're going to be doing the second half of a What Sold video. It's going to be the Friday through Sunday, August 7th through the 9th. Way more sales, way better sales on the other platforms, not eBay. It's just, thank goodness for Nifty. Thank goodness. It's just like, hurry up with Vinted, hurry up with Facebook Marketplace. It'd be really nice if they could get those on the website by fourth quarter. And then we'll all be scurrying. But yeah, it's, it is what it is. That's how I'm working right now. Look, I got my piles going again. I got so many little things to get working on. So I'm just going to keep doing my thing, get more stuff listed, and get a haircut today for sure.
It's about time.
It's time.
If y'all are liking these videos, hit the thumbs up and drop a comment down below.
Definitely. A nice comment, please. The nice Rebel is gone if people are going to leave hateful comments. Don't do it. If you don't like our content, don't watch us. Leave. It's just armchair warriors, right? Armchair warriors.
Or stick around and leave the hateful content because that really helps us in the algorithm.
Yeah. You're going to get pinned. You're going to get pinned. And I'm going to sick my friends on you. But
it'll be all right, though, y'all. It's social media. If you ain't making somebody mad, then you ain't done something right.
But I'm off the mind. If you aren't going to just come and say something to my face or to Robert's face, unfortunately, a lot of it's directed at him, then don't say it. We have two rules in my house since the boys were little. Think it, don't say it. Show me, don't tell me. Just, if you're not going to say something nice, don't say anything at all. All right, let's get to this. I don't think I had sales on Whatnot, but I might have had sales on everything else. 2 on Mercari to share with you. I don't even remember picking this up. Probably a Ben's pickup. I knew at one point that I liked the brand Maison Chic. But, it's turning out to just mostly be bread and butter. And this did take quite a while to sell, but it's one of those travel pillows. And it sold for $8.52. And this Cult of the Lamb goat plush from some video game sold relatively quickly on Mercari for a $15 offer. And then I had 4 on Depop for that weekend. First was this Klepto dog plush. Not picking them up again. Sold for $7.70. I show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, this was an Atlanta Braves visor, and it sold on Depop for $15. And then this Disney Minnie Mouse Lovey sold for $7. These were some links. I picked all of them up, or Bobcats, all of them up at the bins in Dayton. One bin, it must have been, probably from the same household. Somebody liked Lynxes, listed them all together. They ended up selling on Depop for $20. And then Poshmark had quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 on Depop. Right, first one was this little jelly cat plush book. I had hoped to find more, but I never did. So this one ended up selling on Poshmark for $9. Flex women's scrubs. There was like one yard sale season that I picked up some scrubs. To me, unless they're, I think Fig is like the brand. I'm not going to be picking them up. And a lot of times they already are stained and all of that stuff just from the use. So it's not something we plan on doing anymore. But finally sold this one for $10.
We saw Carhartt scrubs at a yard sale recently. He wanted way too much money for them, but I didn't know they made scrubs.
I didn't either. All right, Little Tikes replacement baseball bat. I pick up the bats, the balls, the Fisher-Price bats and balls and golf balls. I pick up all of them because kids lose them. And this one sold relatively quickly, $15. Seaweed mermaid figure. This is from 1979. It had some condition issues. Usually I can get, 20 plus for them. But this one had some problems. But it sold very, very quickly on Poshmark for $11. Dino Ranch. I had these in 2 separate lots, and then I started finding more pieces. So I ended up probably in the last month or two, taking all the listings down, and I've made all of these together into one lot. And they sold on Poshmark for $20. This, you know what? I actually took the listing down at one point. I had thought about taking the items out of the box and just selling them. And then I just changed my mind. Went ahead and relisted it and got it cross-listed to all the platforms, and it sold. But literally, I've had this probably sourced before I ever started this channel. That's how long I've had it. But it sold for $25. It is animal fare, but it's like a pool town little play set from the 80s. Here, I'll show you. No, yeah, I can. Can I? Yeah, it looked like that. It was not complete. These I thought were very cool. Not sure if this was from the high bid estate sale or if this was just a bins pickup. I think they were a bins pickup, and they were all, I found a baggie of the tile puzzles, and I decided to split these out of it because they were all nerds, and they finally sold on Poshmark for $17. All right. This was a fun find at the Dayton bins. These were Mattel Honey Hill Bunch dolls. There was lots of wear, especially to the hair. But the funny thing about it is Robert found some on one end of the bins. I mean, another complete row. And then I found some. And we ended up with 11 of them. And they sold on Poshmark for $35. And then my best sell on Poshmark was this decor. Love that brand. They sell very quickly for me. This is a Potbelly Bear. They come in various sizes. This was the 12-inch size, and it sold for $40. And then Etsy. I had 3 sales on Etsy. We might have talked about this before, but maybe not. But Etsy has it's not promotions, offsite ads. And you can opt out of them when you first sign up. A lot of people, I think initially they put you in them, and then you think, why am I paying these extra fees? You can opt out of it until you've made $10,000 in a consecutive 365 days. Once you hit that $10,000 threshold, you get put into offsite ads, kind of like eBay's promotions. The difference is you can't ever leave. What's that song? Hotel California. You can check in anytime you want, but you can never leave.
Exactly. What's with you coming up with music references?
I know.
But and the other difference between the two is that when you are opted in initially, it's at a 15% rate, and when you are opted in at the $10,000 threshold, it's 12%.
12%. So why I'm bringing this up, we think I'm very, very close to hitting it. And it is what it is. Hopefully, maybe that means, I'll get pushed out more and we'll actually make more sales, but we'll see.
Y'all know Rebel is not keen on promotions. She's really tight, and I told her that if I were selling things on Etsy, I would just stay in it from the get-go, because you only pay the fee when the buyer makes the purchase by having clicked your offsite ad. So if they come to Etsy, find your item, you're not going to pay that fee.
Right.
So to me, it's just extra exposure, and you only get the fee when the offsite ad is what generated the sale, which to me is, I would rather have 85% of something than 100% of nothing.
Right. It's true, but frugal. But I sold 3 things on Etsy. First was this Princess Soft Toys dog hand puppet. It sold for $11.65. And then this was a Thai Pluffies Puddle the Duck plush, sold pretty quickly, $22.45. And then this was a surprise sale. These are some rainbow colored caterpillar / centipede bug lot. One is Cuddle Me Toys, the other is Schaefer, and they sold for $44.95. And then eBay. Have a few sales to share with you. I had a lot of low dollar stuff that I'm just kind of pushing that stuff out. But these were some reasonable sales on there. Aurora Dreamy Eyes dog with its original paper tag sold for $15. IKEA, love that brand. This T-Rex sold for $13.45. Another very quick sale. Dakin La Mutt Fifi La Femme dog plush from 1981. This was listed back in May. I'm pretty sure this was a Ben's pickup from Dayton, and it sold for $49.95. Eddie Bauer travel vest sold for $17.71. Animal Fair Bumblebee. That's when I talk about Animal Fair, it's usually this older vintage plush, but even that Poshmark sale was Animal Fair, and it sold for $31.45. This, I think, was my best sell of the weekend as far as eBay. My Chosun Heart to Heart vintage bear plush. I just picked this up recently. I want to say at an estate sale. $2 each, I think, is what I paid. This one did have a working heart. You know what's funny is I know I went in and added the heart working, even though it doesn't make a sound. What I did was record it and just let it do the thump, thump, thump vibration off of the table. But my video's gone, and I'm not quite sure what happened. Nevertheless, it did sell $69.95 very quickly. Ravensburger jigsaw puzzle. I picked up 2 puzzles at, I want to say, a churchyard sale. Come to find out, this one, the box was open, but the bag was sealed, which was amazing. And it ended up being a nice higher price puzzle. Sold for $31.45. Douglas Four Seasons Resort advertising plush sold for $16.15. And a White Rabbit by Mainjoy Limited. I'm not going to be picking up much rabbits, but this is one of those ones. I like the brand. I like the vintage. So I don't know. It just really would depend, but it ended up selling for $22.45. And then for Robert, your sales have been terrible this month. I'm not quite sure what's going on because he's listing, consistently, but all of a sudden you're having days and days of no sales.
And then,
yeah.
I had, was it Sunday or Monday? Sunday. I think Sunday I had 7 sales, and then the Tuesday was like 4, and then yesterday was none. And I'd also like to point out, I looked at Mercari. Mercari is just kind of pointless for me almost. I had 3 sales in February, 1 in May, 1 in July, and then I've had 3 this week.
I know, crazy. All right, yeah, I shipped 2 today from Mercari, and even my sales are very inconsistent on there. First sale for him was on Depop. It was this Lorraine nightgown set. We just decided to put some of these vintage robes together. Based on the measurements, I did change it to a size large when I was redoing some of my listings because eBay came out with this new thing. You have to have measurements. It used to be I could put C measurements in there if the tag was missing or it was vintage and I wasn't quite sure. My solution to this problem, especially when you don't have size tags, is I go to ChatGTP and literally this is what I say. What is a comparable size for a women's nightgown, vintage, with a pit-to-pit of 22 inches? And it's going to spit out a range for me. And I just kind of have to give it a best guess estimate because sometimes it'll say large or extra large, size 18 to 22. But what I do is I go into my description and I say, according to research, the pit-to-pit measurement of this item correlates to and a size. So I've been trying to fix that on a lot of our older listings where, frankly, I just put C measurements. But yeah, eBay has a new requirement that you have to have picked one of their sizes as far as, you know, in the drop-down menu, because a lot of people shop using the features. So you can't just have something that's not, you know, in one of their drop-down bubbles.
And eBay demands it now.
Yep. So I'm trying to fix them as I come across them, especially while we've been cross-listing them. All right. And then Robert had 3 sales on eBay. First,
it didn't fit me, y'all, and I did not look good in it.
Some type of bodysuit that he picked up probably at the bins with spaghetti straps, sold for $10. Chic women's vintage jeans sold for $17.71. And then, y'all, these itty bitty teeny tiny jeans that he picked up at a yard sale have been selling ridiculously. These are a size 0. I'm going to go show you the waist measurement. Look at that, 11-inch flat lay waist. Never would I have ever thought that we were going to sell these this quickly. These American Eagle high-rise flare jeans sold $26.71.
We bought 18 pair of jeans that day, and we've probably sold 6 of them at least already, if not 7.
Probably, because, yeah.
And we paid $45 for all 18 of them, and they've been selling, as you saw there, $26, $27, $30 for some of them. They've sold really well.
And we sold 2 of them. Where? For like $54, but where?
On Mercari. Was that on Mercari?
It might have been Mercari.
It was on Depop. I remember now. The Mercari sale was a bundle of 2 separate things that were Wranglers.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing with these is I think these are very stylish right now and trendy, so that is probably what's helping them sell so quickly.
But yeah, can you imagine 11-inch flat lay waist? There was a time, maybe, when I was like 12. All right, y'all. I'm getting ready to go get my hair cut. It is yucky rainy here. Oh, is it going to ever stop raining? It's ridiculous. Every single day we've gotten rain. I have not had to water my raised beds, not once. After the initial, we planted them, I dumped some water in there. And then we're cutting grass every 3 to 4 days. All right, it's time to get to work. Bye.
Or for a haircut.
Or get my haircut. Yep.